Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rosina Sharon. So today we're going to learn how to do this look. In particular, it's a full glam. As you can see, very beautiful, very skin-like, everything intact. Before we do that, kindly subscribe. Please subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll be reading all of them kama kawaida. And if you like the video, give it a big, please give it a big thumbs up. Enough of that. Let us go straight into the video. So we're starting off with skin prep on this. I started off by using a collagen mask, left it on for 15 minutes, and then here I'm removing it. And I used a collagen mask because my skin was feeling really dry and I wanted it to be very moisturized. And then I would allow for that to set first before I move on to the next step. So the next step, I'm using the Garnier SPF 50 plus sunscreen, Super UV. It's a very good sunscreen. It does not leave any white casts. And the one thing I love about this sunscreen is it's very moisturizing, but it does not leave your skin looking greasy. And I'm just going to apply that all over and then allow for it to set before I move on to start doing the eye. Okay, now starting off with the eyes, I'm going to start by brushing the eyebrows upwards using a spoolie, and then to line I'm going to use the Davis number 3 eye pencil. Make sure it is as sharp as it can get, and make sure the eyebrow area is dry before you use an eye pencil to line. Now to fill in, I'm going to use a bar soap first, wet it with water and then rub on it, and then you're going to use the thick white foam to brush through the brows. As you see in here, as you go towards the outer corner, make sure the eyebrow stays in the 2 lines, okay? And then after that, we're going to press in the eyebrows and then allow for that soap to dry out completely fast before you start filling in. Now to fill in, you're going to start from the outer corner going towards the inner corner using stroke-like motions. Around the inner corner, you can tilt your eye pencil sideways and just give it a shadow starting from the lower side. Here, you're using very little force, okay? And after that, to clean, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. I'm using a flat brush for this. And for the concealer, you're going to use a concealer 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, okay? And as you're cleaning, your brush should be seated like this. Don't point the brush towards the eye, seated in this angle. As you go towards the outer corner, clean it outwards, okay? And remember, around the inner corner, we left a bit of space. Now, as you continue, make sure you brush, you drag the product down as you go, drag the product down as you go. Around the inner corner, you're going to use a foundation that matches your skin tone, okay? And always drag the product down as you go. And guys, I have a very detailed eyebrow tutorial on my channel. Go check it out. It has everything you need in there, okay? And then before we continue, I'm going to use a fluffy brush just to blend in that product before I set the eyes for eyeshadow. Now moving on to eyeshadow, I'm going to start setting the eyeshadow with an eyeshadow base from Golden Lip Cosmetics, and I'm using a fluffy brush for this. And here you're going to start setting from the lower lid moving up, and the technique here is tap. So starting from the lower lid moving up, so as you go up, that eyeshadow base blends into the concealer on the upper side. We don't want to see the white all the way up. Now for eyeshadow, I'm going to use this from Golden Lip Cosmetics. It's actually a contour and highlight palette, but the brown on this palette, it's amazing for eyeshadow. So I'm going to start by creating a V on the outer corner for eyeshadow, and for here I'm using a small round fluffy brush. And then after creating the V, you bring it in along the midpoint of the lid, okay? As you come in, it's always along the midpoint of the lid. And before you continue, tap off the excess product on the same brush and gently, using stroke-like motion, just blend in the edges before you come back and blend in with a different eyeshadow shade. And then now to blend the first transition, I'm using a lighter shade of brown using a fluffier brush. So here I'm just going to use circular motions, very little force. Now before we continue, I'm going to use the eyeshadow base, same eyeshadow, just a small amount of it, and use it to blend the crease area like this. And the crease region should come to at least 3/4 in width, guys. It should come to at least 3/4 in width. And here you're just tapping using a fluffy brush. Do you see that? We're not doing a cut crease, but it looks like a cut crease. And then after, I'm just going to use a neutral shade. This is a matte shade. Before you apply either an eyeshadow shimmer or glitter, make sure you start off by setting. If you use an eyeshadow base, set it first. Then after, I'm just going to use the brown just to blend in the edge. Now, before you apply glitter or a shimmery pigment, start off by using glitter glue. And here you're going to use a flat brush to apply the glitter glue. And to apply the glitter or the shimmery pigment, you're going to use a fluffy brush, okay? Start off with a flat brush and then a fluffy brush to apply the glitter or shimmery glue. Then after that, I'm just going to use this black eyeshadow pigment using a flat brush. And again, create a V on the outer corner and then go ahead and fill it in, just as instructed in the video, okay? And I'm using that same small brush to fill it in, okay? And here, guys, you're using very little product. Don't use too much, okay? And then blend that in. That is very, very important. And blend in the edges as well, because you want it to look blended in. And then after I use the brown shade, I started off with my eyeshadow just to blend in the black and the nude here, so it does not go from too dark to too bright, okay? And then after that, I'm just going to use the Fenty Beauty mascara, and then you can do your lashes, but you don't have to for beginners. And then next, moving on to the skin, we're going to reapply the Garnier SPF 50 as moisturizer. I don't know, I lost my moisturizer, guys, so I'm going to use this as moisturizer as well. And there is nothing wrong with using too much sunscreen, by the way. And then allow for it to set, and then move on to primer. I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. Guys, look at my skin though. Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. And I'm going to apply that on the T-zone areas alone, okay? Just on the T-zone area, because again, I have dry skin, okay? And then here along the smile lines as well, very, very important for you to prime around that area. If you have oily skin, you can prime on all the areas you have open pores. And the technique here is just tapping it in so it is absorbed into the skin. And then again, after, allow for it to set fast before you move on to foundation. So I'm going to use a damp beauty blender to apply my foundation. Make sure it's wet and then squeeze out the excess water completely. For foundation, I'm using the NARS foundation. And again, technique here, guys, is tap, 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 okay? So I'm just going to take my beauty blender, take on some little product of the foundation, okay? And then tap it in. Tap, tap, tap. Don't drag the product. Remember to blend in the neck as well. Very, very important. Again, tap, tap, tap. And little product goes a long way. Okay? And we're just going to do the same exact thing on this other side of the face as well. And remember, guys, we do not apply foundation under the eyes. Okay? Under the eyes, we are not applying a foundation on the under eye. And then around the nose, you're going to take very little product, okay? Start off on the tip of the nose first, and then tap off the excess on that beauty blender, and use the remaining product on the beauty blender to blend in the corners of the nose. Remember, around the corner of the nose is where we have the most texture. You don't want to apply too much product around that area, cream product. And then for the forehead, you're going to start blending in between the eyebrows, and then as you go up, you're going to tilt your beauty blender sideways, and then you're going to start blending just above the eyebrows, going up, left to right, right to left, so the product is distributed evenly on the forehead. And then moving on to highlighting the face, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fun. Going to apply that starting with the under eyes, inner corner, outer corner, on both sides first. And here you're using a concealer 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. And then for the nose, I'm just going to apply that on the tip of the nose, and then move on to apply some around the forehead. Now for the forehead, make sure it comes in between the eyebrows as well, okay? Don't leave the space here without anything. And then as I allow for that to set, I'm going to use a cream blush just on the high points of the cheek before I come back to blend the concealer in. Now to blend in the concealer, I'm going to start with the tip of the nose and the forehead, and then the under eye as the last resort, okay? Tip of the nose to the forehead, and then come back to the under eye as the last point of blending. Now the forehead, remember, again, left to right, right to left. And remember to blend in between the eyebrows as well. Then after I'm done with that, that is when I'm going to come back to blend in the under eyes. Now to blend in the under eyes, I'm going to start from the inner corner going towards the outer corner. inner corner going towards the outer corner, and here we are tapping it in. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, and take your time to blend. Take your time to blend. Don't be in a rush. Take your time to blend. Okay, tap it in, and then make sure it is all smoothly blended out first. Okay, no rough edges before you move on. And guys, immediately after blending the concealer on the under eyes, if you don't want the under eyes to crease, immediately after blending, you're going to use a finishing powder, a compact finishing powder. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in 330. Use the same beauty blender, the side that has product. Take some of that product and use it to set, starting with the under eyes immediately after, so they don't crease. Okay, and to set here, you're just going to press the product in. Okay, press it in. So you're going to start off with a finishing compact powder, and I would recommend the Maybelline Fit Me, the one that comes in a box as shown here. It is one of the best products to use for this. It does not leave you looking like your casket ready, like too dry, too much powder. It just melts into the makeup itself. And then you can set around the smile lines as well. And then after that is when you're going to use a loose setting powder. Take some of the product and then either blow off the excess product or tap off the excess product, and you're going to use the product remaining to go over the areas again you set. So starting off with the under eyes again, and then bridge of the nose as well as the forehead. And remember, around the nose here, remember to set in the corners of the nose. Very, very important. Remember to set in those corners. Very important. And then you can do the forehead as well as the smile lines. And then after, I'm just going to use a bronzer from Juvia's Place. And this one, beginners, you don't have to. I just wanted a very colorful makeup today. And then blend in my forehead as well into the hairline. Okay, and then I'm just going to go over that with a finishing powder, and all over the areas I did not apply any powder on, I'm going to go over with a finishing powder again that matches my skin tone, just to blend everything in. And then for the nose, I'm going to use that shade to contour. This is from Golden Lip. Now to contour the nose, you're going to start from where your eyeshadow stops, bring it in 45 degrees on both sides, so it gives you a guideline on where exactly to place the contour lines. Now to place the contour lines, you're using a flat brush, and remember to close in the space on the lower side. And then to blend it in, you're going to use a clean fluffy brush. Starting on the upper side, you're blending it into the eyeshadow, and then as you go down, you're going to tap. And always remember to tap off the excess product as you do this, so you don't encounter any harsh lines. Okay, and remember to blend in the lower side of the nose as well. And then I'm just going to apply a cream liner on the waterline alone. Okay, and then moving on, I'm just going to go to the lips. Now I'm starting off with a brown lip liner. Blend in the lip liner first before you move to using your nude gloss. I'm using this nude gloss from Fabiola Beauty. It's very, very beautiful, sorry. Very subtle. I didn't want something that is very, I wanted something a bit more subtle because the eyeshadow look is already screaming as is. And then after that, I'm just going to use a dewy setting spray to set in the makeup. And that would be it for me today, guys. I hope you have learned something from this video. Look at this look though. Oof. I am in love with this look. I hope you have learned something from this tutorial, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support as always. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Okay, and I'll be seeing you guys on my next video. Let me know what you want on the comment section. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching.